So it's my pleasure just to welcome back to the province Martin Fogarty, our National Director for Hurling. Martin's come into post. He's been absolutely fantastic up here with us, helping us to develop our game and been very supportive, and also develop some leagues which we didn't have previous, which have allowed for more games in hurling, particularly in the smaller counties. So Martin, you're very welcome, and we're looking forward to your presentation. Thanks.
Thank you, Jim. Folks, great to be here at all. We're a bit behind schedule, so we'll drive it on. Delighted to have the Waterford man covering me back here. No, the ball is breaking. Derry can run in around. I think I wasn't noting that, Derry. Anyway, look at folks, it's great to be up here again, and I looked out the window this morning there and it was lashing rain. It's just thanks be to God I'm not out in the field today. Because every time I come up here I can't use the word, but he dropped water on me. Kevin asked me there to do this little slot on the importance of the games programme, and delighted to do it because I think it's hugely important. And the first thing that comes to my mind when I talk about games is an old friend of mine years ago was standing on the sideline. I was a supporter and he was tagged out as a sub, and he was on as a sub, and I turned to him and I said, Mikey, you must love this hurling. And he says to me, he says, Martin, he says, I died for the game. And then he turned again, if we could get a game. We laugh at it and I laugh at it, but I can see where he was. He was down in Johnstown, Jersey, the Ladies Club. That's where the match was. I can picture him. And it kind of stuck in my head. I said, Jesus, if we could get a game. And there's so many players that just don't get a game. If we look along and we talk about the organisation, at the end of the day, games is what we're about. If Derry and myself decided in the morning to start a shinty club, what would be the point? It'd be a waste of time. What would be the point of having a committee and officers, etc., because we would have no games? So I think we keep have to come back to the fact that we're about games. And if you look at just put a few bubbles in there, no point in having clubs if we don't have games. No point in having committees. No point in having coaches, coach education, all these things. Even players. There's no point in having players if we don't have games. So, we've got to keep coming back to that. And I look down at Crow Park and I look at all that's happening there. And you know what? Without the games, we could pack up in the morning. You won't probably see it certainly down the back there, but a long time ago, I've had this little slide going around the clubs. I would say to them, look, I don't like using the word audit, but I would say once or twice a year every club should do a little audit on themselves. And the important things here are that at every age level you have a quick look and you see how many players you have, you see how many teams you have, if any. You see, how many people are over the teams. But most important, you ask yourself at every age level, how many games are we providing for our under 12s, 14s, 16s, minors, seniors? How many games are you getting? Either provided by the county or provided by yourself. And again, it comes back, if you look at the end of the year or halfway through the year, you see our under 16s have had 3 games so far. As if we were doing them a disservice. We should pack up or sort it out. Another little one, I'll fly through it, which I had for a long time. I had it as a coach, as a manager, as a chairperson, a secretary of the club. If you're over a team, you got to keep a record. You can keep a record of who attends training if you like, but I don't worry about that. But you most certainly should keep a record of who gets games and how much game they get. So if a guy gets a half a game, that's 0.5. If he gets a quarter of a game, that's 0.25. And after 2 months, you have a look at it, and you find just Derry only got 0.25 a game, and he probably turned up to every training session. So, you're doing a disservice to lads. If you join the golf club, you get a game every day you get on. And if you have a panel of players, there's an onus on you to make sure that every one of those players gets X amount of games. Now, there won't be championship games. There's only 15 will start the championship. But there's an onus on you to give them X amount of games throughout the season. Other than that, why are they in the club? Why are they coming down training? And it does take a bit of work, because you have to get up off your backside and go arrange challenge matches and maybe play your subs on some days so you get a game against a different type of a team. If not, you're doing a disservice to your players. Plus, from a selfish point of view, it will cost you. Eventually, the day will come, and there'll probably be a county final, where you're after having a couple of lads sent off, and you have a couple of injuries, and suddenly your 5 first subs are now your 5 players. And your 5 second subs, they're now your 5 first subs. But you haven't given them games. And you will have to call on one of those in the last 10 minutes of the game, and the chance to win the match will fall to him or her, and they'll miss it. Because they haven't had a game in 3 months. Right? And then you lose the game. And whose fault was it? The player or you, the manager? It was your fault. Anyway, that's an aside. You know, in recent years, I suppose, every year we're bamboozled from time to time with what's important. You know, years ago it was sack training. If you weren't doing sack training, you were at nothing. If you didn't have ladders and hurdles then, you were at nothing. Now I suppose the buzz is S&C, just magic stuff. If you're not doing S&C, if you don't actually have a qualified S&C coach, you're at nothing. And now again, it's all now about games-based approach to training, like it's something new. But back when Derry and myself were young lads, it was all games-based, because you have one ball anyway, you could do nothing else. I know some of you guys up here didn't have any ball. She just played away, you pulled anyway. That's an aside there. But look, we can talk about all those things. As far as I'm concerned, nothing changed. Nothing has changed. The field is the same size, there's still 2 goalposts, there's 4 lines, and nothing has changed. That's how you approach it, I suppose, changes. Games-based approach to training is usually important, but, move on. Right, without the skills, you can't play the game. So it's about getting the balance. What the lads were doing there this morning, you can call them skills, you can call them drills, call them whatever you like. All of those things are important. You cannot play the game without the skills. And the better you are at the skills, the better you will be at the game. Now, there are several other things come into it. You know, fitness and all that comes into it. But it's about getting the balance right. And I would certainly say with youngsters, get them right from the basics, which are on the ground. Start them on the ground, get them good on the ground, build it from there. Build it on little skill, you build the skills little by little, then they get better at the games. There's no point in giving a player a ball in his hand or in her hand if they can't strike it. You know, if I can't strike the ball, there's no point in raising it. So if I'm out in the match, I can't strike, I'll be better off keeping the ground. There's no point in me throwing a hand pass out to Derry there if he can't catch it. So, you understand what I'm at? No, Derry can catch it alright, but I'm just making it. I'm just going to look at this kind of in 2 ways now. Kind of formal games program and then in-house game. So, just to start off with kind of formal games. And to me, the greatest challenge facing the GAA is to try and create more clubs in half of the country. And a quick look here, you can't read it, so I'll show it out for you very, very quickly. Some of you have seen this before. There's 13 counties in the country, and they have 8 or less adult hurling teams. Now, I could be wrong on the figures there, but I'm not 100 miles off it. I know there's only one in Fermanagh, this below, and I have Derry down there as 8, I could be wrong. But by and large, how can you have a games programme if you have 3 clubs in your county? And my heart goes out to these counties. My heart goes out to them. Because, you know, if you look at that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, how can you have a games programme with that number of clubs? One club, if they're strong, they're going to win the championship every year. If a couple of clubs are weak, they're going to be hammered every year. So this is, to me, our greatest challenge as an organisation, is to try and build more clubs. And I'm delighted up here, even last week I heard another little club growing. 2 years ago, a club grew down there near the Loop somewhere. I was down in Roscommon a month ago, down around Boyle, another little club grew. Down in Cavan a month ago, another little club grew. And that's what we have to do, long term. I'll be dead and gone when it happens, but if you look at those figures there, all of those counties have to aim to double the number of clubs they have, at least double them. If I look at Fermanagh there, they say there's only 1 adult club, Lisbon. However, there's 7 units, there's 7 underage units that are now up to the age of 14 or 15, and that's mighty. If they could be held and brought on to adult level, that in 6 or 7 years' time, you will be gone from 1 to maybe 6 or 7 or 8 adult clubs. That would be unbelievable. That would be the greatest thing that would have happened in this organisation in 100 years, as far as I'm concerned. So, what I want to say is to make a point about having a games programme. You need the teams. You know, this Shinty team we're going to start, pointless, because we won't get games. If you compare it with what's supposed to be the bottom of the barrel, Kilkenny football, and I'll stun you if you haven't heard it before. In Kilkenny, this year we had 28 clubs fielded an adult football team. And that has been the case as long as I'm around. So, as long as I'm around, we have senior, intermediate and junior football, 12, 12 and 10. And in some years, clubs have a second team and there'll be a junior B as well, which means we don't have to go to the county to get a games programme. It's up to lads then how much they want to put into it. You know, some put in a lot, some just play the games, and that's grand. But we have levels, and that's what we need in hurling. We need enough teams, first of all, to make meaningful competition at your own level. Now, how do you do that when you don't have the clubs? Well, you have two choices. You can carry on as you are, or you can try and change it. Now, to try and change it is you try and grow more clubs, and that's where there is, I suppose, responsibility on clubs, existing ones, and county boards and provincial boards and national to try and do something about it. However, in the middle of it all, you look at what you have. And I threw a map up there if you can see it, and the dots are the hurling units throughout the top end of the country. Okay, one colour is adult clubs, another colour is juvenile clubs, and you can see they're very, very scattered. If you look across at Mayo, you know, you got 4 units over there. Westport, the nearest match to get is 30 miles away. If they want a second match, they go another 30. So what can you do in that situation? Well, the only thing you can do is, what I would say, almost do away with county boundaries and get pockets where you have clubs and form new units there and have them challenging and have them meaningful. So that instead of me being looking at Seamus here that works down in Longford, where there's 3 clubs, instead of being in a county that has 3 clubs, we're now in an area that has 10 or 12 clubs. And that's our competition. That instead of beating one team to win a championship or 2, we now have to beat 10 or 12. And to me, if we can get that, the whole game will rise. Because the competition will be harder, there'll be more games, it won't be as easy to win, and at the same time, it'll be at a level that we can compete at. And if we can get that happening, more people will play. And if more people play, we'll get more clubs, we'll get more units. Now, to drive it on, at inter-county level, from a hurling perspective, I think it's decent. Not saying it's perfect. Of course it's not. You'll never get perfection. But at inter-county level, every county can compete. You know, you got the McDonagh, the Ring, the Racker, the Mar, and we'll say at minor level you got the Celtic Challenge. So, you know, at least everybody that wants to hurl, whether he's from here, or he's from Sligo, or he's from Kilkenny, or whatever, they can get into a competition that's meaningful, and you have a decent chance of competing in it, which Sligo have shown there in the last 2 years. They've come up the ranks from winning the Lowry Mar to winning the record. What's to stop them staying going? What's stopping any county staying going? Now, if you don't put in the work, or you lose players, or, you know, you go down. But anyway, our challenge, I think, is at club level. And I think it's a bigger challenge, and I think it's a bigger responsibility for our organisation to try and fill that gap for clubs. Now, what's happening in each county at the moment? Well, it varies from county to county, right? If we take up this country, Antrim or Grand, because you have, as far as I know, at least 24 clubs, so no problem. You have the numbers to create your competitions, to create competitions at different levels. In the middle of that then, that's up to clubs how much to put into it. You know, and there's no use crying and saying this, that or the other. I look down at Antrim and you see Lockheed All-Ireland champions a couple of years ago. You know, they can do up there what my club can't do. So, you know, there's no point in saying we're this or we're that. Up this country, you have teams that would beat the daylights out of teams in every single county in this country. And tomorrow I'm looking forward to going down to watching the final there with Dunley and Schlockneil, and it's going to be a cracker of a game. And any of those teams would beat most teams, if not all teams, in every county on given days. So, you know, the standard is there, the expertise is in every single county. Okay? All we need is more time, more chance. I mean, people talk about Offaly and the demise of Offaly. The demise of Offaly has happened because a few years ago they absolutely punched above their weight. A tiny county with a tiny number of clubs, lucky enough to get a bunch of players together at the right time and absolutely punched miles above their weight. But when that happens, people expect it all the time. It's like a child that's a normal 40%, 50% in an exam, and they come home someday, Mammy, I got 90% in the maths. And then Mammy wants 90% every day. It doesn't work that way. Anyhow, to move it on a little bit, or Johnny or Paddy or whoever, I suppose from provincial and from national level, what we have been trying to do in the last year or two, and I use this as a little bit of a plug, we've tried to look at that situation to provide more games and to wipe away the boundaries and to get pockets. And we've introduced the Tánaóg and at under 13 and under 15 level, and we hope in a year's time to bring it in at 17. And at the moment we're trying to bring in what we're calling the Cuchulainn Adult League, which again is not to cut in on any existing competitions, not to cut in on existing county competitions, but provide something else. So that if you're in a county and there's 6 clubs in it, brilliant, you play your own championship. But if you can also come in to another competition where there's maybe 12 clubs, that's all the better. And that's what we have down our way. Even in the football, we have it because of the number of clubs. It's not that we're doing anything any better than anyone, but it's there. Like if I travel 6, 7, 8 miles, I could get 6 football matches, no bother. If I travel 20 miles, I could get double that. And that's using Kilkenny clubs, but I'm on the border of Laois, I'm on the border of Carlow, they're there. Now you look at Carlow, and they might have only 4 or 5 clubs, but they don't have problems. Because 10 miles will bring them into Kilkenny, 10 miles will bring them into Wexford. You look at Wicklow, they don't have the problems, they don't have a huge amount of teams, but up the road there's 100 clubs in Dublin, so they don't have the problems. And I can only admire them like a Schlock-Neil, you know, they have come from nowhere. And only a good few years ago, a friend of mine, and he coaches them, Mickey McShane, they came down to my place for a training session. And I didn't even know, I had never heard of Schlock-Neil in my life. You know, and I see these boys prepared to travel the length of the country to get a match. What did they do? They were getting up on their backside and sorting themselves out. Right? You know, that kind of stuff. And it's the same with say all the other strong teams. You take your 4 strong teams there in Antrim, they're doing the same, the Lockheeds and the Dunleys and the Push and all, they're doing that. Cuchulainn Dublin, they weren't heard of years ago. But I heard it, because they were coming up and down our country for challenge matches, and suddenly they win all Ireland. So nothing happens by chance, that you have to make it happen. So anyway, just a little brief on the Tánaóg there, just quickly, because we were going around the country there. The lads here, Kevin and all the boys, were going around the country to the different counties to try and just talk about these competitions, not trying to bend anybody's arm to come into them, but just to say, look, these things are here. It does make sense to come into them. You might have to nudge things around a little bit, but they're definitely worth doing because there are more games against different people. So we'll run through this very quickly. Last year, Tánaóg ran at 13 and 15. We had 2 grades, and crossed over 3 provinces, crossed over 15 counties. We got 46 clubs involved, 68 teams, and all in all, there was over 200 games played. And from a development perspective, we were blown away with that, because we had to get quarterable with being delighted, and it can still grow. Now again, if you can see it, basically, a lot of people involved in it, all your staff here, all your full-time staff up here, all involved in it, and the same across in Connacht, and a little pocket at the top of Leinster. Seamus there from Longford be involved with that. And really all we could do was took the map of Ireland, the top of it, and took the clubs, and see who was interested, and joined up the dots, basically, and took an area. So if you went over around Sligo and Leitrim and Mayo, you said, right, there's 6 teams there, that's a group. And you went off up the north there, 6 teams there, that's a group. Over to the east, there's a group. Now, the problem was, you had no choice. 6 closest teams, that's a group. But within that, there could have been a huge difference between standards, and that's the problem. And that's why, if we can get more teams, we could at least have 2 grades. But anyway, problems are to be solved, not to be laid down under. That's roughly how it worked. Now, we had finals days then, there are just a couple of pictures of the finals days, and, you know, I tried to make an occasion for the youngsters. Some teams won, some teams lost, some teams got hammered, and they didn't mind that. Because one fella from, I think it was Letterkenny, they got hammered, and he says, don't worry about it, this is a great learning experience for us. We thought we were doing well, but now we know what we have to do to get better. And I was blown away with the reaction to it. A short little video here, just on it, just to give you a little taste of it. How it works, please. Shit. Sorry. That's your technology viewers. That's a good thing. All picture, no sound. Okay, maybe it's well, the finals against them. They'll run a little bit, but they're the finals below on Breffney. So. Who are they playing, lads? Huh? Sorry. No, we're only on the crack here. It's no big deal. Look, what's happening in that video is just a clip of a few matches, listening to a few guys talking about, that's Gaffney there, talking about the experience and how it came about and how it involved so many people to make the thing work. Okay? Again, a huge amount of people to make it work. And in particular, the coaches in the clubs, right across the 15 counties that prepare to put in the work. Made a big day for them in the finals, but it wasn't about finals, it was about getting the games. And by and large, it was a very, very positive experience. So just as well you're not listening to that by talking. It's all it's talking to his fucking hat. I moved that on a small bit. Now, right. So that's very, very briefly, we'll say, games that are provided, we'll say, by your county or by your province. Formalised games, but I want to spend a few minutes now talking about what games you provide in your own club, within the club, within the training session. Okay? So, what I have here is, if it comes up, I'll let me know. I'm a little way into this anyway. Technology will always let you down. Okay, done for you. Kevin, you were singing a song there, but I can go next. No, that's not done. Just move around now. Order there, connect. Order there. Now, right. A fictitious plan for 2 weeks. Now, I got a couple of lads there this morning, experts in coaching. I give them a little exercise, and I said, right lads, there's 7 training sessions spanned across 2 weeks, and it's 10 hours training. So basically, you have your players for 10 hours in the next 2 weeks, plan it out. You go night to night, you just go and train away, or you give a bit of thought to it. Now, I would be inclined to say you should give a bit of thought to it. And I kind of broke up the sessions and said, right, in a session, there's going to be more stuff, but it says, right, skills and drills could be part of it, S&C, fitness could be part of it, tactics, analysis, all that stuff could be part of it. A lot of guys now want to bring a bit of psychology into it, that could be part of it. A match, an actual match, a formal match can be part of it, and condition games can be part of it. So there may be other things. So you have your players for 10 hours in the week, that's it, end of story. After that they're playing golf. What do you do with them? And I just ask the lads, right, plan it out, challenge it. What do you end up with? So, that's what the guys came up with. Okay? And this is after 2 weeks, and again it's fictitious, but, you know, we should all know what actually are we doing with our players when we have them or when we don't have them, when they're training. So, if a player is putting in X amount of hours per week, what exactly are they doing? Now, just in case you can't see it, so again, you know, the graph there is showing condition games 23%, match is showing 25%, skills and drills, the percentage is not shown from me there, but anyway, it's reasonable. S&C is showing 10%, tactics is showing 20%, psychology is showing 2%. So you look at that, and you say, alright, am I happy with that? Is that what we want? Now, there's no right and wrong. There's no right and wrong. I can't say to Derry, this is how it should be done. Derry can't say to me, this is how it should be done. There is no right and wrong. That's the great thing about sport. Now, I'll just take a second one here. There's a second one. Okay, and in this one, match is 35%, condition games is 8%. Skills and drills 27%. S&C fitness is 25%. Tactics, analysis is 5%. Psychology is not there. There's nothing in that particular fortnight. Now, what I said to the lads was a match. A match is a formal match, an ordinary match. Okay, whatever number you have, 10 aside, 15 aside, that's a match. Are you playing a match in training? once a week, once a fortnight, or every night. We're talking about games. We're talking about a games programme. I often heard when I was involved with the Kenny, lads giving out that some of the boys, the subs, they never get a game. I says, hold on boys, hold on a second. They get a game every night. There's a match in the training every single night. And they're getting in. And that's not a game. You know, if you were forward and marking all league every night of the week, if that's not a game, well then, I have hair in my head. I said to the boys then, right, skills and drills, formal skills, drills, game plays, stuff like that. And hugely important. Now, in an ideal scenario, you wouldn't have to do any skills in training because the boys are doing it in their own time, and it doesn't work that way. So, we don't have ideal scenarios. So, if you have a fella that's coming in, even at inter-county level, and he's weak on one side, you want to top that. You want to make sure that that's being sorted. Now, you come out of inter-county, you come down to your club level, and if your players can't raise the ball quickly, and 99 times out of 100, you need to look at that, seriously. If your players can't strike off of both sides, you need to look at that seriously. If they can only strike X distance, you need to look at it. Look at out this morning there, and all the skills were sitting beside Henry below there, and said, look at, some that Derry had some plays on. A ball was put down into the corner, that caught it. Says, there you are, he just needs to catch it. If he couldn't catch that ball, Derry players would pack up with that little exercise. He got the ball, he looked across the field, he poked the ball across about 40 yards, straight into a lad's hand. Now, if he couldn't strike, Derry can pack up with that skill. So it all keeps coming back, and we've had this conversation before, it all keeps coming back to those essential skills of, in no particular order, rising and catching, hooking and blocking, striking and hand passing. And you master those, make them better and better and better, and then you can do all these things. If you don't have one of those skills, you're short on one. If I can't hand pass, no pain in Derry after running 50 yards up the field to be there for me. Anyhow, tactics. Again, I had that down because tactics and talking comes into training. Are you spending 15 minutes out of every night talking? And the guys getting no hurling and they can't strike right and left. You need to do it. Maybe you do need to do it. Right? Psychology, talking, speaking. Is it worth spending an hour a week, an hour a fortnight, an hour a month with your players? You only have X amount of time. Is it worth spending it? If it is, do it. If it's not, don't do it. Fitness. You have to be fit. Of course you have to be fit. Now, how important is it with a certain team versus their skill? You take the top players. You mentioned Austin Gleeson there this morning, Paddy Manny. Those guys don't need work on skill because they are so skillful, they're blind you. So they can get an edge by being stronger and faster and fitter. Now you take a guy in my county, for example, and he's playing Junior B, and his skill is brutal. But fitness is not going to beat him. He can be fit as you like, but if he can't catch the ball, and he can't raise the ball, and he can't strike the ball, he's wasting his time in the gym, he's wasting his time running. He'll be better off stand out and work on his skill. So this is where the balance comes in. Condition games. Again, I will put them in kind of with games. That they're getting games, they're part of the game, they're a factor of the game, and they're hugely important. So very, very quickly then, that I would say you challenge yourself, you look at your training over a period of time, and you see, are you happy with what's on that graph? So, what are we about? We're about games. So if you look at that big pie there, and games is only a small part of it, well, in my opinion, they're going nowhere, because the players are round off. They're going down night after night after night, and they're not getting the whole register signed up. They're not getting the game. Okay? And it's about a game. I have yet to see the Neil McCarthy Cup or any cup handed over in Croke Park for the best drills in the warm-up. I've yet to see it. And you can play the game any way you like. Well, that's what happens. It's the team that gets the most scores on the scoreboard at the end of the match gets the cup. So, we're playing. Our target is to maybe, I don't mean we have to win every course we don't, but let's say our target is to win a match. Now, how do you learn a match? You learn a match by playing the double match. You don't learn golf by playing snooker. Well, I don't know, maybe you do you? Alright? So again, you keep coming back to the game. Provide the game. And I can look back when I was young and growing up, and again, I go back to JJ Leahy's club, Pat Henderson, Ger Henderson, all these guys, and Cody's club then, James Stevens and Pan Larkin, all these lads. And their training was a match every night. And by each year they cut the head off in the matches. I mean that, what's the word I'm looking for? Cut the head off. They didn't cut the head off, but you get the gist. That's what Savage without being stupid. and it was all about the game. Now, I'll get over that there, can I? There's a time is every up here. No, I'm not sorry. Sorry. I want to lay much longer, no, let's stick it on there. Actually, there are videos that you don't need to see. Everything on the button here with time. Okay, look it. We'll wrap it in this. So, what I'm throwing back to you lads is two things. I know at the moment I've read there that Ulster there you're looking at you have some survey going around there from the hurling committee, which is brilliant. I saw it somewhere about, and you're being invited to fill out a questionnaire. Now, I wouldn't call this advice, I'd just call it a suggestion. I think myself, in the counties that don't have a huge amount of clubs, right? I think the biggest challenge I have is for whoever, the hurling committee, the county boards, the hurling people, to come together and forensically look at every team in every county, every age grade, and say, right, what have under 15s in this county got in the coming year? And unless we can say, right, they have 10 matches, they have 12 matches. If they don't have it, right, where can we get it? And that will mean coming together with 2 counties for one grade, with 3 counties for a different grade, 5 counties for a different grade, and making sure that, and come across the provincial boundaries, because that's where your nearest teams will be, possibly, right? And say, right, at every age level in this country, that player is going to get, I just want to say, a minimum of 10 or 12 games in a decent competition every year. And if we can get to that, hurling is just going to float. So look at, time is up. Thanks for your attention.